everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Erin and I do mostly budgeting videos, but I also do others like the one you're about to see here. It's still kind of a budgeting video, but it's just more of a setup plan. So you guys know that my channel's been around for a long time and I've done all different budgeting methods on all kinds of different notebooks and printouts and even electronic budgeting. But I thought I would go back to some options that some of you may be interested in, because not all of the methods are for everybody. So as you know, I just released my January 2026 budgeting kit. This is a workbook that will take you through the entire month with a month on 2 pages if you want to use it more for planning too. And there's all kinds of worksheets in here to keep you on track financially throughout the month. That's still available for download. I did talk about a membership program for my channel, and I think I am going to go in that direction because I just have so many printables and kits and worksheets that I want to release. But I also don't want to go the Etsy route because I think it's just really, really populated with a lot of talented people doing their thing. And I don't think that I think sometimes printables and things like that get lost in the shuffle. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go forward with the membership. And if you're interested in that, you will get additional content. I will outline that in the terms. And you'll also get a library of printable resources free to you. So I'm going to get into this because this is a bullet journal style, and I'm also going to get into a composition notebook style. So if you're interested in some different methods, just stay tuned. First of all, I thought I'd give you guys my view. Let's see. This is my view today. It's still snowing. In fact, it snowed pretty good last night. So we're dealing with that. And I also got, oh my gosh, my Valentine nutcracker. Nutcrackers were my mom's favorite Christmas decoration. And when I saw TJ Maxx had Valentine style, I'm like, yes. And I bet they will come out with the St. Patrick's Day one too, but we'll see. So this is a Dingbats, I think it is. Where did I put it? I don't have it. I think it's called Dingbats. I'm going to put this in the link below. I got this on Amazon. And the nice thing about this is that it truly has the most interesting textured fabric cover to it. I mean, it's really, really nice and it's so durable. And when I opened this, I was shocked because I did not expect the quality, but this is a B5 size. So it's a little bit bigger than your traditional bullet journals. And the reason why I chose this is because when you're budgeting, I think you need a little bit more space if you want to get like an entire monthly situation on a page. So when you open it up, it's this beautiful kind of Art Deco print. It's so pretty in person, honestly. It's not, the camera's not doing it any justice. But I skipped this because these pages are always glued together awkwardly, and I skipped this in case I want to do a cover. So this is a dot grid style. And then this is 160 GSM paper. So it is very, very thick and durable, and it just feels super luxurious. If you're a paper lover, you will absolutely be very impressed with this. So I'm going to zoom in just a bit and show you the components to this. So if you want to do something like this, you can write this out on your own, and you don't have to have a fancy bullet journal or any type of, formal journal. You can use any paper that you have, a spiral notebook, a composition book. Stay tuned because I'm going to show you what I've done with a composition book to turn it into a planner. I'm still working on that, so that's going to be kind of a series. But if you are somebody who loves bullet journaling, you can do this in your bullet journal and have everything in one place, which I think is really, really nice. So what I did first is I created the month. I love to see an entire month, usually on 2 pages, because I like to write in those squares, but I didn't have the desire to create an entire spread like that here. So I kept it small because what I wanted to do is I wanted to plug in paydays and bills. That's all I want to use this for. I don't want to put down birthdays or anything like that. I want to keep it really focused on the finances. And then down here, I put a little like a monthly planner day by day as well that matches this. So if I add something here, I can plug it in up here and vice versa. But this so far encompasses all the fixed expenses or bills that we have. So if you see on the first, I needed actually 2 columns. So I just created another box there. The first, the fourth, and the fifth are like that. I have multiple things due. So I just added extra spaces as I needed them. And then I check off as I pay them. So I'm filming this on January 1st, and I already have these things paid off that I did in December or prior to that. So the rest of the things that you see here, electric, our cemetery plots, this is something kind of new for me. I think I started this in September, buying plots because it's cheaper if you do it when you don't need it. And I've learned a lot since my mom's passing. So I thought, okay, let's be adults and, start planning long-term, very long-term. It's morbid, but it's something that everybody has to do. So you just have to kind of figure out what your wants are and plan for that. But anyways, cable and internet, water, taxes, things like that, those are all still coming due. And then over here, I kind of match this to the way I lay out my monthly overview in my budgeting kit that I provide to you guys. This has a section up here for all of the bills. And then here I can write the amounts, where over here I don't. Variable expenses, these are kind of my categories for now. This could change. I could add something or remove something. Subscriptions, these are my current subscriptions. If you've been with me for a while, you notice I don't have XM or Sirius radio anymore because I had a pretty good deal for it for a long time. And then they all of a sudden said that deal expired and they were going to bill me. It was like almost $30 a month. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start listening to podcasts in my car. I'm not paying for this. So I am actually ironically paying for Audible now. But that's just because it comes with some books that I wasn't able to find at the library. Usually I get my books, my audiobooks from the library. I get everything from the library if I can. I always check there first. And then down here I have a section for the weekly pays. So there's 2 columns to that and then a total. And then way down here is a tiny little receipt. And I kept it super simple, money in, money out, and what's remaining. And then here, just to kind of take up the space, I created a box for notes. So my first note, and it could be my only note, and maybe I will doodle in here if I don't have any notes. But my first note is, are any savings possible this month? Because I don't know that to be true. I had a pretty big credit card balance to pay off from Christmas, so I am not locking myself into savings. Now, I will also let you know that my sinking funds, the way that I had them set up for a long time, that is no longer. So I'm really, really starting fresh in January. I mean, this is like ground up. I have gotten some bad habits. I've kept good habits. Everything's kind of been in transition for me, over the past year. There was just a lot going on. 2025 was very difficult. So I decided that I'm going to start from scratch. And the reason why I put this out here isn't just to give you ideas. I'm also going to be keeping multiple systems this year. And at the end of the year, I'm going to decide which one I like the best, because I constantly see myself going back and forth over the years. I love to bullet journal. I love the printouts. I love, a pre-printed budget book, like Happy Planner. I used to make a budget kit and things like that. So I've used all kinds of different systems, but what I want to do is use 2026 to figure out like what my budget piece is and also my planner piece. I know a lot of people talk about that. They do videos on that. You just have to find a system that really, really works for you and that you don't have to compromise how you want to track your life and the events in your life because you're using the wrong layout or you're using the wrong notebook. You know what I mean? I mean, it could be as simple as that. So I just wanted to let you know that that's why I'm doing these videos, and I'm going to keep doing them. It's going to be a lot of mirrored content like, oh, Erin, you already talked about that. You already did that in your Happy Planner disc notebook where you keep your printouts. Got it. I know. I'm going to be doing multiple things because this is my test year. The other thing that I wanted to share, well, there's two things I want to share. First of all, I got all these cards. Can you believe it? I am somebody who loves to stock up on greeting cards, birthday, sympathy, congrats. There's even like loss of pet, thinking of you. At Trader Joe's, they're 99 cents. So they're really cute cards too. So if you are somebody who likes to stock up and have cards on hand, so you're not always scrambling and having to run to the store when you need one, check out Trader Joe's if you have one next to you because they're cheaper than the Dollar Tree now. The next thing I want to show you, and I'm going to do a separate video, is I just wanted to give you kind of a general idea of what the next video is going to be about. And it's going to be about my composition book planner. So there's a lot of people here on YouTube who use composition books for all kinds of things, for glue books, for scrapbooking, for junk journaling, and also for planning. And there's a whole thing called a junk planner. So you can use it as a traditional planner and keep it very nice and tidy, or you can use it as a very fun and creative outlet and make a junk planner out of it. So the reason why I have two is because when I first started this, I didn't really count my pages properly. And I also had to decide what do I want to include? Like, what's my layout for this? Because you only have 80 pages to a traditional composition notebook. Some might be a little bit bigger, but usually they're 80 pages. This is from Walmart. So as you can see, this is a big mess. And I used this later on as kind of a guide and a template of what I wanted my real journal to look like. So I went through this after I made many, many mistakes, and I started to mark it up with a highlighter. And, you know, I'm like, okay, that's not right. That's not on the right page. This shouldn't be a weekly layout. This should be a monthly layout. So I went back, and then when I finally was able to sit down and put my pages together, I used that as my guide. And so this one is nice and tidy and clean. Now I am going to use this as a junk planner. So this, as you can see, is January on 2 pages. And I skipped a page in between because I'm going to glue those together. So this is my weekly layout. I still made mistakes, but you know what? I didn't scrap it. I was like, you know what? It's okay. White it out and then keep moving, because I can't, if I put that kind of pressure on myself, like I used to do, like once I would make a mistake, I'm like, oh, the whole thing has to go in the trash. You never get anywhere. And then you literally set yourself up for more mistakes because you're being like, you know, extra cautious, and it's putting a lot of pressure on you. So any mistakes that I made, I just kept moving. So I have a horizontal layout for the weeks. And like I said, I'm going to be taping the pages together just so they have a little bit more sturdiness. Composition notebooks are famous for having very, very thin paper. I don't know what the GSM is. I don't think it'll even say. But it's super thin. It's not like Tomo River paper, but it's thin. It's just inexpensive, regular old notebook paper. But I went through and I was able to fit all my months and all my weekly layouts. And pretty much that was it. That took me to the very end of this notebook. Let me see. Oh my gosh, my hands are so dry. I can't even like turn the page. So as you can see, this is the last page here. And I went through January 2nd. I just finished off the week. So this took every page. If you're interested in taking a composition notebook and creating a planner for yourself, and if you're even interested in doing like a really fun junk planner, follow along, because I'm going to take you through my process and I'm going to show you my updated videos and how I use this. So this isn't my formal planner for the year. I do still have my sugar paper planner, and I can show you guys what that looks like separately. But that's going to be for my more like seriously documented things and work things, you know, stuff like that. This is more for fun. Lastly, the thing I wanted to show you, because I'm just giving you a preview of some things I'm going to be working on and sharing with you. This is a really beautiful journal that I got on Amazon too. And I was so impressed with the paper. But the only thing I didn't like is when I got it, do you see that it has this like warping and like it kind of got smashed I don't know, in shipping or maybe in production, but I was really disappointed in that because I get really like super particular about paper. But this is my media journal. I've kept one of these, as you can see, 2000 and prior. This is comprehensive and from memory. So when I created this particular list prior to 2006, I was literally doing it from memory. I was like, did I see this movie? Did I read this book? And as you can see, it's pretty full. Excuse me. Oh, the air is so dry. And then 2005 prior books. So it's the book and the author. And then starting 2006, I don't like these little like things that I tried to do here. I don't know what I was doing, but I don't like that. Here is where I listed my 2006 movies and my 2006 books. And then a few years later, I started to get into TV shows. And so I started documenting like my favorite TV shows. And I have done this every year until 2025. And yeah, so as you can see, my book list has gotten shorter and shorter and shorter over the years. Like there was times I read over 50 books, and in 2023 I read 3. In 2024 I read 4. So I want to work on that. Oh, this page, these drive me crazy. But what was I going to do? Is it the whole thing? Yeah, it's pretty much the whole thing. So it's like it got jammed somehow. But anyways, I'm going to try not to let that bother me too much. But this is something that I've been doing forever. And I absolutely love it. It's one of my prized possessions because it just documents so much of my life and so much of my interests. And I think that that's such an amazing thing to have. So I'll get more in depth to this, but I just wanted to show this to you. I'm going to link this journal in the description as well. If you love it, it's really pretty. But if you get it and it looks like this, oh my gosh, send it back because it'll drive you crazy. But anyways, that's it, guys. I wanted to give you a preview of what's coming and what I'm working on. And if you didn't already get the January printout, the budget workbook kit, get that because it's available. And yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Happy New Year. And I'll see you guys in my next video.